Opportunity or not in Europe?
Well, we're still very bullish on Southern Europe. We still like the risk-reward there. We think the valuations are attractive, mostly because earnings are still depressed, and now you're seeing the recovery coming through. So you're seeing earnings upgrades this year, first time in 7-8 years. So yes, we still like the area.
Joseph, I remember when you were coming on about 3-4 years ago, everyone was a bit doom and gloom on Europe. You were actually quite positive on Europe. You were construction, Southern Europe, and it seems that now everyone is following you. Is it now too crowded?
Well, it's certainly not as valuable as it was 3-4 years ago. I mean, I think when we were talking about it at the time, there was deep skepticism, and frankly, you know, the tail risk was not completely off the table. We've made a lot of progress. At the time, you know, a lot of the economies we were talking about were still in recession.
Yeah.
Spain is growing at close to 3%. Even Italy is growing. Greece is growing. The political risk was very much all over Europe. I think the Macron election is a bit of a turning point for the EU, and I'm a little bit less worried about the rest of the elections and some of the risks that you've mentioned earlier on.
Right. Are we too complacent because Emmanuel Macron came in and so people suddenly said, okay, this is, you know, the resurgence of youth and hope, and actually it's going to be very difficult for the president of France to actually do stuff in his country?
It will be. France is not an easy country to reform. I mean, none of those countries are easy to reform. But he's actually doing a lot of stuff. He's doing more he's done more in a couple of months than probably most of the French governments have in the last 30 years. So, you know, you have to give that to him.